Imagine not being in a room and yet your book is being used. People are benefiting from it. Somebody else, not you, is promoting your book. That is what we want. That when we're no longer here, if we become incapacitated, that people or someone would find it easy to take up our books and run with it. And that happens when you write a purpose driven book that's connected to a community or when your audience is clear. And I want to talk briefly about that this evening in our masterclass as we prepare for the Small Book Big Impact Challenge for 2025. With that said, masterclass is now in session. Stay tuned.
Welcome, C. Ruth Taylor. Her mission is to raise up 10,000 winning Caribbean entrepreneurs by 2030 to ensure fewer books die in the minds of their authors, that more manuscripts become published legacies, and precious lives are transformed with the turn of every page.
Okay, welcome to another Authorpreneur Secrets live masterclass. I trust you can hear me. I saw two persons who were on. Let me know in the comments if I'm loud and clear. I hope so. Anyway, this evening we're talking about how to write a purpose-driven book as part of the Small Book Big Impact Challenge preparation. So in November, we are going to be doing what we do every year since 2018, which is as a community, my Indie Entrepreneurs Facebook community, we embark on a challenge similar to those doing the National Novel Writing Month Challenge, NaNoWriMo, to write a book in 30 days. Over the years, I have been containing the challenge to primarily those in the Authorpreneurs Facebook group. Now, everybody is not on Facebook, and a lot of my audience for real are 40 years and over. 40 to 60 is my audience, right? And so we are the generation that still use Facebook. But more and more persons want to join the challenge. And a young lady this year was encouraging me a couple of weeks ago. And I'm like, how am I going to open up the challenge so that others can do it? So, what I've done this year is to change the name of the challenge. So, it's not rocket writing challenge anymore, because that sometimes intimidates people. It's not idea to manuscript in 30 days anymore, but that is still the outcome we want, right? The emphasis is not just on 10,000 words to 30,000 words. It's no any genre, and it's a small book. A small book on Amazon can be as little as 24 pages. That's a children's book, right? And for me, a small book is like this book here, this size. This is Sexcription by Dr. Dunbar. This is my Cuban family's book, and this is a decent size. This is 145 pages. So a small book can be anywhere from 24 pages to 200 pages. In terms of word count, if it is a children's book, then you don't need, depending on the age group, what you need is a lot of illustrations and maybe 1,000 words or even less. There's an author that we published for um, Little Black Girl, Susan Smith, and she turned a poem into an entire book. And you can do that because it had a lot of illustrations. And so I want to encourage you to join the challenge. And as we prepare for the challenge, whether you're going to write poetry, your story, memoir, or fiction book, you need to get ready, and you need to write with a map in mind, a mission, or a purpose, an audience, and you need to decide no, um, the platform, the people who are going to use this. And this matters because a lot of authors, we write because we're writing for the heart, right? And very often when you're writing for the heart, writing what you want to write, you're not thinking about your audience. And very often the purpose of you writing is not so clear. But when the purpose is clear, not just why you are writing the book, but what you want to achieve in writing the book, it makes it so much easier to market and to sell. And so I want to share an experience. About, let's see, 30 minutes ago, I premiered the audio of my children's book, Ari Dreams. And I published this children's book, my first children's book, in August of this year, right? I just, it just came to me. You're writing so many books. Wouldn't it be good to have a book in every genre? So that was the first thing. And I said, what am I gonna write? And then I said, okay, let me turn a story from my life into a children's book with a message about um, dreams you have as a child and then they come to pass. And I was thinking of my missionary journey, right? And how from I was 8 years old, I felt this call that God wanted me to travel the world and tell people about Jesus, to evangelize. And that actually happened to me as a young adult. My first missionary trip was in 2003. I was 23 years old. And I said, okay, good. This is in line with my purpose because I see books as missionaries, little missionaries, because books are sent all over the place to places that perhaps you won't go. And through Amazon and all these platforms, the book can go all over the place. And I don't have to hop on a plane. Somebody can be using the book if I'm not in the room. And I said, this would be good to encourage parents, to nourish the dreams of their children and to, help children and young people know that God can call them at a young age and to encourage them to the cross-cultural mission. So the purpose of the book was very clear. And so I said, I want this book to be read in our churches on Mission Sunday. And of course, my big dream is to have a mural where the illustrations are on a wall. And then we can come together and have conversations about dreaming big and about missions and about parents supporting the dreams of their children. So the purpose was very clear. I had in my mind a planning how this could be done. So I was sharing it with the missions leader. So I already have a community in mind. Churches, I want to use this book, the purpose to encourage them to go into missions. So I have a context, I have a purpose already. And then lo and behold, Sunday, I wasn't there. The book, I don't even have a physical copy of the book yet. I made the book, I converted to PDF and I made it free through Flipzine or Hayzine or something of the sort, right? And I shared it. And the missions leader gathered all the children on Sunday, and the entire story was read. And of course, people are now looking forward to getting their physical copy. And she herself cannot wait to take this book to other churches to share. My point in sharing all of this, which is if you have a purpose-driven book, you know the purpose of the book. Rick Warren talk about the purpose-driven life. You won't have such a problem marketing and promoting it. And so as you get ready for the Small Book Big Impact Challenge, I want to encourage you to think carefully about the purpose of your book, because when you write with purpose, it has lasting impact. If I'm not around, if God forbid I were to die soon or suddenly, God forbid, at least one of my books, Ari Dreams, the churches that have missions, the churches that have children's book can take this and use it. And if we get the mural, like you have Kingston Creative downtown with the different murals. If this book is illustrated on a wall in a church or in a community, and we can talk about dreams, and then this is inspired by my story, then even if I'm not around, people can use it. And that's what you want. When we look, for example, at the books of the Bible and the Bible, I talk about that because I'm inspired by it. That's what moves me. The authors, the 40 authors have been dead and gone long time, but they had a mission and a purpose, an audience. They knew who they were writing for and to. They knew the problems they were solving. They knew the purpose of it. And so every book is written with a specific audience in mind, and it's written with a community in mind. And so I wrote this book with a community in mind. The community can be the people affected by the problem or by the issue that you want to share. So you have to think it through, because too many authors, after the book launch, after the excitement, they don't know what to do, and they don't know how to move the books. They don't know how to have lasting impact because they didn't write with a sense of purpose. What's the purpose of your book? How do you envision people using it? What's the community that you could use this book? Are you starting a movement or something? And so Ari Dreams, you see the little girl dreaming and all the places that she's traveling to right there on the cover. And my marketing plan is easy with this book because I know who the audience is and the purpose. I can take this to different churches. I can make a list of churches and then say, on Mission Sunday, could you share this with the children? Could you share it with the big congregation? In fact, what I've just done, I created the audiobook for it and turned it into a video. It's less than 9 minutes and it's on my YouTube channel. And I'm not saying you should necessarily do that. Dr. Benjamin Hardy, he makes a couple of it. He writes books like The Gap and the Gain, Who Not How. I love The Gap and the Gain. And what he does, he has a website where he sought permission from his publisher. As part of his strategy, he turned the book into audio, and he gives away the audio book for free. And then he builds an audience and connects with them, and then through that get clients. You could create an audiobook, or if it's even a chapter or two, and give that away as part of it. But you must have a purpose, and you must know, why am I writing this book? What do I want to achieve with this book? Do not just get excited. And the purpose is always connected with contribution and community and service. So who is your book going to serve? Right? So if you want long-term success, at least I know for this one book, I don't have to worry about it. Yeah, so I thought I would share that, but you must have a purpose in mind, right? So it's Ari Dreams, one girl from a tiny village to traveling the world. And this is encouraging children and people to just dream, and especially those who want to go into cross-cultural missions. You can use it. And so I want to encourage you to join the Small Book Big Impact Challenge. And if you're joining, once you register, I'm going to give you this badge. And you're going to say, I joined the Small Book Big Impact 30-Day Writing Challenge to write your small book in 30 days. And it can go for fiction. You want a spine, or nonfiction, it would be a novella. So we're not going up to the 50,000 words that NaNoWriMo are doing. Or it is less. All of these books that you're seeing on the screen are small books. Ari Dreams is 38 pages, and it is less. I think the story may be less than 1,000 words or a little over 1,000 words. Starting Without Money, I haven't done I think it's over 50 pages. It's small. $1 Million Book Secrets is over 100 pages. And these are small books. I was going to take it up. Small Book Impact, believe it or not, that book of which a challenge is named, is less than 5,000 words. But I was intentional in trying to make it a small, tiny book. It's not what I actually encourage, but it's for a purpose. It's a small book, big impact is now being used on this challenge. So the purpose creates room for marketing. So I'm creating a challenge around it. Already 11 persons have registered since I put out the notice. 5 Days Forever hasn't been converted to print yet, but it is a little less than 15,000 words between hello and goodbye. And these were written like within 24 hours or less than 24 hours, and some of them published. So I want to encourage you to join the challenge in November. And every Thursday, I'm going to be doing a little prep. And while we are on the challenge, I'm going to use this time for you to report and ask questions and say what is happening. And then every Saturday at 8 a.m., I am going to be doing a 30-minute writing sprint, and we're also going to take the time to update so each other on what is happening, what's your progress. So it's not just restricted for the first time to the people in the Authorpreneurs Facebook group, because I'm trying to equip 10,000 authors to become authorpreneurs by 2030. And I want to encourage more writing of books, because I know books can transform lives. It can open doors for you. It can lead to multiple streams of income. It's legacy. It's mission. It is a business magnet. It is a branding tool. And it doesn't have to be a big book. A sweet spot for fiction, non-fiction, very often is like 25,000. But a 10,000 word book could work. Chef Ricardo's book, do I have that up here? Yes, Chef, but it's buried under a whole heap of other books. Chef Ricardo's book was less than 10,000 words. Chef Ricardo's book has gotten 70 odd reviews. He sold many copies. He's talking about from poverty to purpose. And he's built a YouTube channel of what, I think maybe he's over 1.6 million followers, right? And he tells his story of, why he became a chef, how his parents died at a young age. And it was actually an interview that he converted to a small book. Let me get the book. I just hope my other books don't tumble down in trying to get it to show you it. So it's a small book with a big impact. So this is Chef's book, very small. This is Chef's book, right? Let me take off the PowerPoint. This is Chef Ricardo's book, less than 10,000 words. And every video that Chef Ricardo puts out, he has this book, every juice video. And the purpose is clear. He wanted to inspire. He also has some of his recipes in here. So it's not a full recipe book. And this is less than 10,000 words. Small book, big impact. And it got him TV interviews, other stuff. It has gotten him, even Heart bought, because he's a graduate of Heart, they bought, was it 20 or 30? They bought about 30 copies of this. So again, book written with purpose. You must have a purpose in mind. Here's another small book, Discovering, Fulfilling, Becoming. So that's what I mean by small book. This is 146 pages. And this is to help with self-esteem. Balancing. This book is small. So I suppose maybe this is maybe about 5,000 words or so. But this one is geared towards helping. This book has helped me so much on my doctoral journey. Every time I feel down and I feel like I can't finish, I go back and I read this book. So this is 12 lessons learned on my PhD journey. The author wrote this to help those who are working and studying, pursuing higher education and struggling to balance it all, balancing work, family, and all of that stuff. Now, whether she's around or not, this book will be used with the right groups because the purpose is clear. So I have promoted this so many times because it's easy. So you want to write the book and the title and the subtitle make it easy for people to see the purpose and can take it up and promote it. And so I want you to think carefully. If you need to ask ChatGPT to help you, ask it. If you need to ask friends to help you, but bear in mind when you're doing your outline, what is the purpose? And finally, how do you get to be part of the Small Book Big Impact Challenge if you are not in the Authorpreneurs Facebook group? For the first time, because sometimes in the past when I was doing the challenge, it felt like I'm me alone. And a few persons said they would join me, but nothing official, right? So what I'm doing now, I am having persons register. So it's no longer just restricted to those in my private group. And then the book, Small Book Big Impact, it's on Amazon, it's in audio, but I also recorded it and have it on YouTube. So it's 29 minutes. Or if you prefer print books, you can go and buy the print book. And so you go to authorpreneursecrets.com/SBBI. That's Small Book Big Impact. Just the first letters, right? So you can get the print on Amazon. It's cheap, $10.95. And you want to register on this page to join the challenge. When you register, I give instruction. Each week, I'm going to be giving encouragement and tips via email. And you can email me weekly to say, this is my word count. Share your progress, or you can post your progress on your own social media pages. Those are in the Authorpreneurs group. You already know it. Tell us your daily word count. How is it going? Any challenges? And by 11:59 on the last day, the first person to submit their finished manuscript by email or in the Authorpreneurs group, you can type finished. You will get the prize. So this year there will be 4 winners because we have poetry category. We're doing fiction, non-fiction, and children's books. And so when you register right there on the page, I trust you're seeing it because I'm not looking on my phone. When you register on the authorpreneursecrets.com SBBI, you put your name, your email, tell what kind of book you plan to write, and whatever concerns you have. Now, the Small Book Impact Challenge, write the book in 30 days, a small book, right? A little but talawa book. I want to also challenge somebody to actually publish the book, write it and publish it. Now, I've been writing and publishing books in a month for a good little while now. And that's going to be, most times it's just going to be the ebooks, because sometimes there isn't enough time between editing and doing different things to actually print it. But it can work. If you are new, I wouldn't advise you to take on that challenge, but you could end 2025 on a bang by doing that. And maybe somebody's pro enough, maybe like Aminator Coot, can write a book and publish it in a day like me. That would be the ebook on Amazon. I would say delay the print book, because many times you want to actually print it out, read it through. And sometimes if the people you're working with, the formatter, the editor, the cover designer, not available, it will take longer. But write the first draft. It doesn't need to be a perfect draft. Just get the ideas from your head onto your computer and tally the word count. I will share some other tips as the weeks go by in February. So on the same registration page, I already have some courses and tutorials to help you. And so you want to listen to the audiobook, Small Book Big Impact, and then do the worksheet. It's optional, but it's a guide to give you ideas of the type of books you can write, purpose, marketing ideas. And these are questions that are asked at the end of each chapter in Small Book Big Impact. So the worksheet now is just the Word version that you can fill it out. You don't have to answer all the questions. Then there's the Rocket Writing Masterclass. I prepared a series of videos to take you step by step in the process of how do I map out my book and write it? Why? What's the magic of writing short books? I did a live workshop, or I did a workshop that was recorded on this, and I've converted it to a course. So there are audio tutorials as well there. The Rocket Writer ebook is included, and you can go through that. So there's a flyer, Small Book, Big Impact, November 1 to 30. And this challenge each year is what has helped me to continue writing, even though I am a publisher and I'm doing a million and other things. I set aside this time every year to ensure that I keep writing, because very often when you start to offer publishing services and courses and different things with your book, as an author, it can interfere with your writing. But for me, I've been able to continue writing because of this challenge every year. I intend to finish a book that I had started, but we can talk about that a little later, because I'm already publishing 12 books for 2025, writing and publishing. And the books that I want to write and publish for this year are already written. Book number 10 is going to be published on the 20th. I have to upload it by the 16th. Then book number 11, I'm finalizing the cover for that by November 30. That should be out. And then book number 12, Driving with Confidence, Courage to Stay Behind the Wheel, should be December 31. It's written already. And Driving with Confidence was written on 2 challenges. So it took me 2 years to write that one. Any of the other books? Yes. One of the books, a couple of the books that I'm publishing this year were written during the challenge. Which one was it? Better Than I Dreamed was written during the challenge. So the prizes, like, I have a publishing support group, right? Through the Authorpreneur Secret Academy. Members pay $99 per month to get coaching and guidance to publish their small book for $1,000 or less, right? And it's $99 per month. The winners will get access to the academy for 2 months. So if you're smart, you can use those 2 months and publish. You'll be assigned a coach who will assist you, a coach in training to be certified. I come in once per month, and you get your questions answered, and I guide you. You can pitch your book and get marketing and publishing ideas and feedback. Sometimes this is where people refine their book titles and stuff. So the group is very effective. It's normally 3 to 6 months, people say. So some people finish within 3 months. Some people take the whole 6 months to finish their book. And I've been doing that for 5 years, and it works. You're going to get a free copy of the book, Authorpreneur Secrets. It's going to be the PDF or e-copy you're going to get. And of course, you're going to get a certificate that says winner. But all persons who finish, even if you're not the winner, once you finish, you're going to get the certificate that says I finished. And these are just incentives to encourage you to write. You don't need these incentives. You don't need these prizes, because at the end of the day, it's going to benefit you. It's going to put more money in your pocket, build your brand, open more doors, leave a legacy, amplify your business, ministry, you name it. You have to set a purpose for it, or just the joy of making this dream come true, right? And then you'll be also interviewed on the podcast. My podcast, the Authorpreneur Secrets podcast, is among the top 40 best-selling podcasts, top 50 book marketing podcasts in the world. And so that's what's happening. And so the registration page takes you through what you need as you write, publish, and leverage your book. So you get the next steps. Again, there are tutorials on writing on the page, some writing prep tips. How do you put a nonfiction book together? There are also tutorials on publishing for those who want to take the next step. Because remember, the challenge, Some of you may want to actually write and publish in 30 days. All right, so all of that is there. So if you are in, I want you to type out in the comments SBBI 2025. Small book, big impact, right? SBBI 2025. And let me know, are you joining the challenge? Are you going to just write the book, or are you going to take on the challenge to write and publish? So I want you to go to the registration page and sign up. That's it. For those who are live, I know two to four persons were with me. Do you have any questions? My point in sharing all of that was to say, listen, write with purpose. You want to write your book with a purpose that is so clear that those who read it, like what Habakkuk 2 says, write the vision, make it plain so those who read it can run with it. I wrote the vision for this book so clear, Ari Dreams, that people can take it and run with it. It was read in church and I wasn't even there. That's a whole group to promote it. And you want to do the same, right? With purpose in mind. Write a purpose driven book and your books will sell. As we close out, as usual, of making many books, there is no end. So I encourage you to go penny to win it and dominate entrepreneurship. Remember, join the Small Book Big Impact Challenge now. Go to authorpreneursecrets.com/SBBI and register. I've put in the link in the show notes and in the comments. Ta for now, until next week.